Water pollution. This is a picture showing the different kinds of water pollution. Water pollution is the contamination of water with chemicals, particulates, or bacterial matter which degrades the quality and purity of the water. Water pollution can occur in oceans, rivers, lakes, and underground reservoirs. As different water sources flow together, the pollution can spread. Water pollution is a big concern all around the world. Not only does it damage the environment, but it also causes problems with drinking water for humans and animals.
General wastewater pollution. One type of pollution is municipal pollution. This would include general waste, runoff, and any other garbage that is disposed into the water. Municipal water pollution also consists of wastewater from homes and commercial establishments. It increases harmful bacteria which causes oxygen levels in the water to decrease. It also contains mixed inorganic compounds and suspended solids. Not only does municipal water pollution look disgusting, but it can be especially harmful to animals because they can ingest the waste that is put into the water.
Chemical pollution is another type of water pollution. This results from inorganic chemicals that are dumped or spilled into bodies of water. Heavy metals represent a common type of chemical pollution in water. They can be found naturally in bedrock and sediment, or they may be introduced into water from industrial sources and household chemicals. Heavy metals harm humans through direct ingestion of contaminated water or through accumulation in tissues of other organisms that are eaten by humans. Some common heavy metals found in water are mercury, lead, cadmium, arsenic, and aluminum. Petroleum is another chemical which often pollutes water bodies in the form of oil resulting from oil spills. Pesticides and fertilizers also pollute water. This type of water pollution is especially harmful because it is like putting a poison directly into the water. Once the water is contaminated, it is virtually impossible to remove. The water in the area is no longer good for anything and cannot be used.
We want to start with the latest on the crisis in the Gulf, where the news continues to get worse, if you can believe it. We're now getting word that much of the oil washing onto marshes along the coast could prove impossible to remove. This is why they were supposed to get it beforehand. Jonathan Seri joins us from Venice, Louisiana. It's hard to imagine that the news is getting worse this morning. Jonathan, what's the latest?
It is indeed, Allison, but while it's relatively easy to clean the oil off of sandy beaches, once it gets into the marshes and other wetlands, virtually impossible to get out.
This is a chart that shows the water distribution around the Earth. It shows just how important it is for us to conserve the fresh water that we have left today. Agricultural pollution. Agricultural pollution is the second leading cause of water pollution in the United States today. Water pollution from industrial farms not only damages the environment and kills wildlife, but it can also sicken and kill people. Most water pollution from industrial farms results from the storage and disposal of animal waste. Industrial livestock farms store manure and other farm waste in gigantic tanks known as lagoons, which can hold millions of gallons of manure and urine. Unfortunately, these lagoons often leak during large storms. They may rupture or simply overflow. When this happens, the environmental damage can be devastating, as raw manure is up to 160 times more toxic than raw municipal sewage. Leaking lagoons also release antibiotic residue and harmful bacteria that can leach into the water supplies. Milk spillage, silage liquor, cattle, and pig slurry. These are all examples of point source pollution. Diffusion source pollution from agricultural fertilizers is more difficult to trace, monitor, and control. In ditches and river courses, nutrient pollution from fertilizers causes eutrophication. This is worse in winter after autumn plowing has released a surge of nitrates. Winter rainfall is heavier, which increases runoff and leaching. There is also a lower uptake of plants. Agricultural water pollution can have a variety of negative effects. Not only do substantial environmental problems result, but many of the pollutants produced by farm minerals, chemicals, and pathogens, to name a few, can make water unsafe for human consumption. Rain and irrigation water drains off cultivated land that has been fertilized and treated with pesticides. The excess nitrogen and poisons are mixed with it into the water supply. These pesticides are toxic to pollute the water in different ways. Aquatic plant growth causes deoxygenation of water and annihilate flora and fauna in streams, lakes, and rivers. Fertilizers enhance the growth of bacteria that are in water and increase the concentration of bacteria to hazardous levels.
Industrial pollution. In the United States, industry is the greatest source of pollution, accounting for more than half the volume of all water pollution and for the most deadly pollutants. About 370,000 manufacturing facilities use huge quantities of fresh water to carry away wastes of many kinds. The waste-bearing water is discharged into streams, lakes, or oceans, which in turn disperse the polluting substances. In addition, numerous manufacturing plants pour off undiluted corrosives, poisons, and other toxic byproducts. The construction industry discharges slurries of gypsum, cement, abrasives, metals, and poisonous solvents. Another pervasive group of contaminants entering food chains is the polychlorinated biphenyl compounds, components of lubricants, plastic wrappers, and adhesives. In yet another instance of pollution, hot water discharged by factories and power plants causes thermal pollution by increasing water temperatures. Such increases change the level of oxygen dissolved in the body of water, thereby disrupting the water's ecological balance, killing off some plant and animal species while encouraging the overgrowth of others.
A lifeline for millions, the Ganga is in a crisis. Industrial, agricultural, and domestic waste, along with human activities, have reduced the river to dangerous levels of pollution.
6 major effects of water pollution. Some water pollution effects are recognized immediately, whereas others don't show up for months or years. Additional effects of water pollution include: Number 1, the food chain is damaged. When toxins are in the water, the toxins travel from the water the animals drink to the humans when the animals' meat is eaten. Number 2, diseases can be spread by polluted water. Infectious diseases such as typhoid and cholera can be contracted from drinking contaminated water. This is called microbial water pollution. The human heart and kidneys can be adversely affected if polluted water is consumed regularly. Other health problems associated with polluted water are poor blood circulation, skin lesions, vomiting, and damages to the nervous system. In fact, the effects of water pollution are said to be the leading cause of death for humans across the globe. Number 3, acid rain contains sulfate particles which can harm fish or plant life in lakes and rivers. Number 4, pollutants in the water alter the overall chemistry of the water, causing changes in the acid levels, temperature, and conductivity. These factors all have effects on marine life. Number 5, marine food sources are contaminated or eliminated by water pollution. Number 6, altered water temperatures due to human actions can kill the marine life and affect the delicate ecological balance of bodies of water, especially lakes and rivers. Water pollution effects have a huge impact on our environment and health. The delicate balance between nature and humans can be protected, but it will take efforts on all fronts to prevent and eliminate water pollution locally and globally. Major effects on humans. Many diseases can be contracted through unsanitary drinking water, such as cholera, typhoid fever, E. coli infections, and PSA infections. Some people in peripheral and core countries do not have the option of drinking the dirty water because it is the only water that is available in the location that they live.
Including sewage effluent and farm and food processing wastes, consume oxygen, suffocating fish and other aquatic life. Nutrients such as nitrates and phosphates from everything from farm fertilizers to household detergents can over-fertilize the water, causing the growth of large mats of algae, some of which are directly toxic.
Major effects on animals. Animals suffer greatly from our water pollution and carelessness. All types of water pollution affect the environment of aquatic animals. Many polluted areas also affect land animals. When the water is contaminated, animals don't have anything to drink and have to relocate to safer areas. Many animals die every day because of the deficit of drinking water. Water pollution affects the ecosystem in many ways. It is very dangerous and needs to be carefully maintained and controlled. Help prevent water pollution by properly disposing of toxins such as paint and oil. Try using natural fertilizers and always remember to reduce, reuse, and recycle.